Hey! Welcome back, everybody. Another episode, Just the Two of Us. Today, we're talking about Prohibition of Cannabis. And we always start off with the beer of the day.
Beer day, damn it.
Today, we got a Sucker Punch Tiger's Blood. It's from Three Nations Brewing. 4.5%. Check her out.
Snow cone beer. Oh.
Cheers to
you,
it.
bud. Huh.
Yeah.
That's actually really damn good.
It tastes like coconut, strawberry, vanilla, something. It's got a really good flavor.
It's like beer first and then tiger's blood, coconut after.
It tastes just like the freaking snow cone.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, dude. That is good. Sweet. Got a nice sweet flavor.
Delish.
Got a nice sweet flavor. It's good beer.
It's good stuff.
So what you got for us on the Prohibition of Cannabis?
Prohibition of Cannabis. Say the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937 banned hemp production in the United States for two reasons: economic competition with cotton, timber, and synthetic plastics. 1930s anti-hemp propaganda caused a moral panic, persuading Americans to believe hemp and marijuana were the same and would both lower the moral values of American culture. The Farm Bill of 2018 lifted the ban on hemp.
Of when?
2018?
Oh, okay, yeah. I think that's when.
But I don't think it's still that big.
Right.
I find many things made out of hemp.
Yeah, it's not as big as like trees for paper. They're not using hemp for paper, really. Maybe rolling papers or something. They make out of hemp.
Yeah, I think not even all of them, like some, they'll say it on there.
But I think that it's all THC free hemp, which is weird too. I don't even know how they get that. I guess crossbreeding.
Yeah, so it's saying that it's not the same thing. It comes from the same plant, though.
It comes from the same plant, not the same thing.
Yeah, because it says persuading Americans to believe hemp and marijuana were the same. Huh. I mean, it's...
Hey, Donald, welcome from the UK.
Yo, what's up, Donald? That's UK Live, dude.
Is cannabis illegal in the UK?
I think so. I think so. I don't know. I could be wrong. I guess he'll be able to tell.
So, yeah, that's wild. And I heard you mention something about plastic. So,
yeah,
I see. Is it illegal? Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry about you, man.
I was seeing something that you can make plastic out of cannabis that's biodegradable.
Oh.
And way better for the environment. And that all the plastics that we have today are from oil. It's like an oil-based plastic.
I always wondered where plastic comes from.
Yeah, see, I mean, I thought it was from like trees with
sap.
Yeah, some type of, but I guess that's rubber.
Yeah, that's a good thing too. Good question. What is rubber? I mean, like, how do they make rubber?
Yeah, it was from tree sap.
Oh, okay.
I hear you. That's cool, man.
Nice. Yep.
So, yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, so... Yeah, there was a lot of propaganda about it in the 1930s. It's got a list of some things that were in the paper and whatever, but I'm not going to read that. But...
I wonder when that movie Reefer Madness came out, because they made this movie.
It's right here.
It was like in the 30s or something.
Yeah, it's showing it.
What year?
This has got like a little thing I can like watch it. Oh, see, it's not even. It just got.
Oh no!
Click on it.
Yeah, I think it was like in the 30s or 40s or something. But they.
Oh yeah, so yeah, it says it right here. 1936. 1936 film Reefer Madness by Louis J. Gasnier portrays a man killing his entire family with an axe after smoking marijuana.
Yeah, so they like made it like it's the devil and scary and all this.
Huh.
Which was a big contributor of like why
that was probably when movies first started coming out.
Is why, yeah.
So you know people believe it.
Yeah, it was like a black and white movie.
Yeah, it is. It's showing it, yeah.
Old school.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think it kind of comes down to people in cotton, the plastic business, oil business had more money than the guy trying to do the hemp thing.
Because you can make clothes and blankets and a bunch of things out of hemp as well.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. For the first 162 years of U.S. history, hemp was a common crop, known by all Americans for its many industrial purposes. In the 1930s, new industries such as cotton, synthetic plastics, liquor, and timber became able to replace hemp. Conspiracy theorists believe these industries funded misinformation campaigns to make a way for these new technologies to replace hemp. Yeah, just like that movie you were talking about.
Well, no, that was just to scare you, thinking that if you smoked, you're gonna.
Well, they could have funded that movie though.
Shit, you know.
Yeah, I mean, somebody funded it.
Yeah. Right. I mean, even oil and gas and all them companies are all worried about dude, the trees. I mean, it takes 15 years plus to grow a tree, and it takes like 9 months. Well, this says 4 months. 4 months to grow hemp enough to make all these different products from hemp. You can do it in 4 months versus 10, 15 years. But then all your lumberjacks and all them would be out of business.
Yeah, because it literally replaces everything.
Right. A lot of shit.
Yeah, so it's just like the conspiracy of the guy that made the water powered engine.
Uh-huh.
You know, you come up with something good, and if it's gonna hurt somebody with a lot of money,
The government
it's
took
not
that
gonna
guy
happen.
out.
Yeah, or whatever.
Hey, if y'all are just stumbling in, leave a like and subscribe, man. We're on every Wednesday, 5:30 Central.
Yeah. I see Donald put.
At Mickey Muddy Boot.
I don't know. That might be his. That might be his YouTube.
Instagram, something.
Yeah, something. Americans in the 1930s knew hemp was harmless because it was grown on family farms. Before the Reefer Madness film was published in 1936, the term marijuana was unknown to American culture. Prior to 1936, marijuana was a word used only by Spanish speakers. Would have never watched a movie called Hemp Madness for one reason. They knew hemp was harmless. So I guess Spanish speakers didn't watch that movie, that's it.
Interesting.
Yeah. I didn't know that the word marijuana was Spanish.
Marijuana.
Yeah, when you say it like that, it definitely sounds like it.
I think it's like globalized as that though now, you know, or
Yeah, I think everybody calls it that. Yeah, or cannabis, or I guess.
because hemp is just like a form of cannabis. I think cannabis is like the overall word.
Right, it's like how a tree can have a branch or something, I guess.
Fire in the bowl, fellas. What's up, Chicago 420?
Hey, there we go. Oh, you got the perfect name for this and everything. Oh, yeah. The influence of Henry J. Anslinger. Upon alcohol becoming legal in 1933, Harry J. Anslinger became the first director of the newly formed Federal Bureau of Narcotics. It is now called the DEA, or Drug Enforcement Agency. Anslinger strongly opposed hemp, read his 1937 testimony before Congress. Marijuana is the most violence-causing drug in the history of mankind. Most marijuana smokers are African American, Hispanics, Filipinos, and entertainers.
Bullshit.
Their same satanic music, jazz, and swing result from marijuana usage. This marijuana causes white women to seek sexual relations with African Americans.
It's all the weed's fault. What the hell? What kind of crazy ass shit is that?
That was fucking crazy, bro.
Hell no. Oh, so it's so violent that you make jazz and
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you think about people that do screamo, man?
Yeah.
What are they smoking? Yeah, man.
That's weird. That's funny. I wonder who like come up with that statistic or what, you know?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he was probably in the pocket of the synthetic plastic people and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. You also mentioned how alcohol, so Prohibition alcohol was in the 1920. And everybody was going ape shit crazy, saying, heck no, you can't take the alcohol away from us. So they would have like underground, you know, breweries and wineries or whatever, and even distilling, you know.
Yeah, the mafia was
making
running that.
moonshine and all that shit.
Yeah.
And so America said, you know what, we better bring this back. So 1933, it came back. And then you said 1936, Reefer Madness came out. And so then that's when they're like, well, look, we need to get rid of this then.
Yeah, I think it was 1937, but still. Yeah.
Crazy.
same shit.
No, the Marijuana Tax Act was in 37, but Reaper Madness I think come out in 36.
Oh, okay.
What you were saying. So it's kind of weird how 1 year later,
Yeah, 1936.
it's like they use that film to scare everybody, to make them think that it's okay for them to create this act, Marijuana Tax Act.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's wild.
Anslinger's influence, combined with media and government promotion, caused politicians and the American people to outlaw hemp via the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937. After 1937, hemp could only be grown if you were lucky enough to be issued special government tax stamps. It was illegal to grow or be in possession of hemp without having these special stamps. Stamp? You had to stamp the bag or something?
Yeah, because it also said that when they made that Marijuana Tax Act, that there was still some medical and industrial uses that were still legal, potentially, but, you know.
Right.
That's very fine print fucking bullshit.
Yeah. Hemp was called a $1 billion crop in 1938. So right after that.
So if it was $1 billion crop, why'd you illegalize it? Why'd you prohibit it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, man. The people that had the power at the time, they just said, fuck that.
It's all about the whole...
Yeah, man.
The big companies.
Yeah.
Even Big Pharma, Jim.
Yeah.
It's like fucking all these different, you know. In that time, they were traveling doctors or whatever, you know, and they had some serum, some kind of potion or whatever, if you will, you know. And like this, drink this and your hair will grow back. Drink this and your wrinkles will go away. You'll de-age or some shit, you know.
Yeah.
And like that's what people did, you know, back in the day and shit and fucking. And even still to this day, there's all these different medicines that are out that cannabis could, you know, be a much healthier, much more natural way to medicate.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything's here for a reason, you know. So I feel like everything's got bad use and everything's got good use, you know. So
I just know that on all the commercials that I see for like a vaccine or something like that, it's like horrible. And like, so it's like, oh, we can cure your psoriasis, some skin condition, you know, take this pill, but it'll give you brain damage and cardiac arrest and blah, 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 blah. You can die from it and all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
You'll be depressed and...
Yeah, they always say that it can cause, right? So like...
But they do tests on all that shit, right? So they'll like get a group of 100 people or whatever, right? And then 100 people take this and they'll pay these guys, hey, take this and then tell me what your symptoms are from it, right? And so then this person has some symptoms and then this person has different symptoms and this and that. And so then they have to combine all that together because the FDA requires that before they'll approve any drug.
Right. See, I read something yesterday that was saying that, like, so for food, it's like USDA approved. And they were saying that if you have a farm in the US and you process some meat and stuff, that's all it takes to get the USDA approved. That animal grew up and was born in the U.S. That's pretty much all it takes, is what they were saying. So I hope it's not the same thing for medicine and stuff, but to think that I mean, hopefully that's wrong too,
Yeah.
because nobody's really checking shit.
I have heard though that also the Food Administration, they allow a certain amount of pesticides, a certain amount of even like up to rat feces or something in their mixture. You can have a certain percentage, but it can't go above that percentage. At least here in the United States, and then you'll be approved there. So, like, somebody's still got to be looking at that shit. I mean, these people, just because you've got a farm and you've got some cows and you slaughter cows, if you're not properly storing these meats and they're getting rotten, you can't, like, they're not going to approve that to be sold in a store or a restaurant or anything like that.
Good.
But that there's a percentage what you can get away with.
Yeah, I guess it's because like all these places are like all have the same issue. So it's like, what, are you just not going to have food at your store? So they kind of have to bend a little bit to certain things, I think.
Yeah. Right.
Everybody's eating rat shit.
Everything's organic. I mean, you know.
Rat shit included.
All the meat is Wagyu, you know. I mean, I mean, it would be all way too expensive for anybody to afford. So, you know, it's a good thing that they regulated it all. Otherwise, you know, everybody'd be sick all the time.
Yeah, you wouldn't know what the fuck you're buying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope that they keep fucking keep up with it, man. Hemp can be used to produce more than 25,000 products.
25,000 products.
Shit. Hemp will prove for both and public the most profitable and desirable crop that can be grown. Although hemp offered enormous economic value, there was nothing that could be done to reverse the 1937 ruling. The 1937 marijuana prohibition was signed into law just 1 year after this article was published. Were the American people deceived? Yes or no?
I would say yes, but they were only deceived by the big dog with the money.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They were, and still are today.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still same shit still stands pretty much. I mean, some states it's totally legal. So
I know,
totally.
but on the federal scale, it's not.
Right.
So the feds could still come into this legal state and bust your ass.
How does that work?
Well, you have limits in each state. So you can only
there's only a certain legal amount to.
You can only have a certain amount. You can only grow a certain amount. Different states have different amounts. But that's how they regulate it. So if you're taking advantage of that, if you got a whole field with thousands of plants growing, the feds will come and bust your ass.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, so there's still rules to follow, but to just be consuming it or whatever is not illegal. There.
Right. And it depends on what state you're in. Some of it's medical, some of it's recreational.
Right.
Things like that.
Yeah. The truth about hemp and marijuana. Marijuana and hemp belong to a plant species called Cannabis sativa, where marijuana is the male version of cannabis. Hemp is the female version of hemp. Oh, no, hemp is the female version. Hemp, unlike marijuana, is cultivated for its fibers and beneficial health compounds called cannabinoids. It does not contain high levels of THC. the chemical in marijuana responsible for making people high.
I think that's asked backwards. So whoever wrote that is stupid, because the male plant is the one that doesn't produce THC.
Yeah. Yeah, so
nor seeds,
marijuana
nor
and
anything
belong to
that it produces pollen. And, typical farmers for THC
Oh, I think you
derived. I know.
because hemp is the male. Yeah, the female is what produces.
Yeah.
If you smoke weed, you're smoking a female plant.
Exactly. If you're smoking to
And
get
so
high.
it's saying hemp is the female version.
Yeah, but they're wrong. They're wrong.
Well, I mean, but maybe not. I don't know, dude.
They're wrong.
Hemp is the female version. Hemp, unlike marijuana, is cultivated for its fibers, beneficial health compounds called cannabinoids. I think you're right.
I know I'm right. Come on now.
Alright, dude. We debunked this
I
shit.
need another one.
We debunked
This
this.
sucker bunch. Sucker
I think I might have grabbed me that one too, man. What you know about that shit?
Hey, it's super good.
Check that out.
Tiger's blood. It tastes just like the tiger's blood flavor of the snow cones, y'all. I mean, sweet.
They do,
good.
man. That shit good, bro.
Really.
Alright, y'all. So they had it ass backwards, dude. So hemp is the male plant, cannabis female plant, dude.
No, marijuana.
Marijuana's female plant.
It's all cannabis.
It's all cannabis. Is that one of the only plants where the male and female are different, or all plants?
No, well, so some plants produce male and female parts on their own,
Like a hermaphrodite?
kinda. And so, like, they're self-pollinating, they call them. So, like, the way plants work is pollen and pistils. When it comes to cannabis, it's pistils on a female plant and pollen sacs on a male plant. And so the pollen sacs open up, and you can have hermaphrodited cannabis as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can, yeah.
And so then it would produce seeds. And also, so like a female plant, to not have seeds, you have to get all males away, which is how you get the highest quality, the most THC in those plants.
Yeah, so if she smells a male around, she'll be making seeds.
No, so the male, if the pollen from the male plant lands on the hairs of the female plant, the hairs will suck in to the bud and create a seed.
Got you.
And it's same scenario with, like, even say an orange tree. It's got a flower, and that's where bees are really good because they pollinate the plants. So they'll go to a male flower over here, get the pollen, come to this female flower, and then pollinate it, and then you get your fruit from that. Most fruit trees and things work like that.
Right.
It's hard to find self-pollinating fruit trees. A lot of, like, apples and stuff, you have to have multiple apple trees in the area just because they won't pollinate themselves.
That's what bees are so important.
That is exactly why bees are so important. And pollinators in general.
Right. Yeah, anything that pollinates is important as fuck. So, a bee could land on a marijuana plant and get something from that?
Absolutely.
It'd be eating, drinking?
Pollen. Yeah.
Oh, they eat pollen, huh?
Yeah. And saps and different things.
Okay.
I've seen a farmer that specifically has, like, a contained bee farm, cannabis farm, and so the bees only propagate cannabis plants, and then the honey that's created from that is like cannabis honey.
Like you can get high?
No,
It's got a flavor?
but it's got a little flavor, but it's also got many medicinal purposes. Even though honey itself is very medicinal, it's one of the best substances bugs create.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's just super
very, very healthy for you.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like a spoonful of honey a day, it'll help sore throats and several different things. That honey is really good.
Right.
It's got antioxidants and all kinds of shit. But this one farmer that I seen, he actually uses bees to do his thing with the cannabis, and then gets the can of honey. If he sells it, I imagine it's high dollar.
Yeah, he's probably able to charge a little more because of that.
Yeah.
So he's probably selling.
Honey is very expensive, regardless.
Yeah, if you get some legit shit,
real honey,
you get some good shit.
it's expensive.
It's fucking expensive, yeah.
Because I've looked into making mead, which is honey wine, basically. And it takes a lot of honey, dude, and it's a lot of money. So
what is that you're talking about? To make your own honey?
No, to make your own mead. Mead is like a honey wine.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, make some mead with that can of honey.
Right.
Cool.
Shot of mead and a spoonful of honey, bro.
Right.
Alright. Unfortunately, despite the clear distinction between marijuana and hemp, the propaganda of the 1930s still has a stronghold on people's views on hemp. Similarities and differences between marijuana and hemp. The primary difference between marijuana and hemp is the THC levels. While both contain THC, hemp has the lowest levels so people can experience the health benefits of cannabis without the high. Hemp is also used for practical uses for clothing to concrete, where marijuana does not have practical uses. Huh.
Right. And
hemp concrete, dude.
Yeah, hempcrete they call it.
Hempcrete.
Yeah.
Hempcrete. Hempcrete.
I was looking at a little thing earlier about hempcrete and it actually gets stronger and stronger and stronger as time goes on. And it's breathable. It doesn't harm you to breathe. Like if you're breathing in concrete dust, it's silica, they call it.
Yeah,
it's very harmful. Very harmful.
For your lungs. You get lung cancer and shit.
Give you cancer and all kind of shit.
Yeah.
It can kill you and all this. And it's not a quick death, it's like over years and years.
20 years later and shit.
Yeah. So this is like a safe alternative and better, and it's termite proof, pest proof, really good insulator, sound isolation. There's several benefits to the hempcrete. In fact, studies say that had they have not, if the government didn't ban hemp in 1937, we'd all be living in bug-resistant, fireproof homes made of hempcrete.
Huh. And it's fireproof.
Fireproof as well.
Hot damn, buddy. So I guess whenever hemp started becoming the thing, they were doing all kinds of tests because there's only one way to find all of that information out.
Well, because Ford made a car. Yeah, Henry Ford made his first car out of hemp a long time ago. Exactly, Chicago. In fact, it was a plastic made from hemp.
The car?
Yeah.
Huh.
If you ever seen the movie Cheech and Chong Still Smoking, they got a car made out of hemp too.
That shit?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's pretty cool. And Henry Ford himself, man. Way back in the day before it was illegal. Crazy.
Concrete car. Hempcrete car.
It wasn't
plastic.
hempcrete.
Yeah,
It was
hemp plastic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
look, I mean, now he's got regular ass
you can
plastic.
excrete the oils and all that shit and then make plastic from that, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
In fact, here I see that you can even make ethanol and gas and all kind of different things from hemp.
That's insane.
Yes, sir.
This whole time, I've just been stuffing it in a bowl and sparking it. There's all kinds of shit I could have been doing with it.
Right.
Man, that's fucking interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting shit, dude.
Right. And it doesn't take much space, you know?
Yeah, you could have a shitload in a couple acres.
Oh, man.
You need a lot of land for big trees. They need
Exactly.
space and shit. They need space for the roots and shit.
Exactly. And it takes way longer.
Yeah, and it takes way longer. Yeah, that's crazy.
Good point, Chicago. I like that.
Yeah, that was good. I didn't even know that they had made a car out of that shit. That's
Henry
cool.
Ford himself, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a Ford Model T or whatever, you know, the old school
Yeah.
1930 car.
Right.
Yeah, that's sweet.
So that's crazy, man.
That's sweet.
While marijuana and hemp have distinct chemical properties, the two varieties of the cannabis plant have the same appearance and smell. In fact, a 1992 study found that hemp looks so much like marijuana that the only way to separate the two is to analyze their THC content. But only one buzz, though.
Right.
But I guess
No,
if it's
well,
prior to that stage.
so the male plant still buds, kind of.
Oh.
You can't smoke it. You wouldn't want to smoke it, you know, but it wouldn't give you anything. There's like no THC, very little THC, if you will, you know. But it still like creates a bud form of those flowers that open up and let pollen out.
Ah, okay. I got you. There is some speculation that hemp was outlawed because it appears the same as marijuana. But based upon their chemical differences, it is clear that the two are not the same. Early laws in World War II. That's weird. As PBS has reported, the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937 outlawed hemp cultivation in the United States. The Hemp Industries Association has also named this law as the beginning of hemp being outlawed, as the law made it challenging for farmers to produce hemp. During World War II, however, the U.S. lost access to hemp produced in the Philippines, and farmers grew large quantities of hemp with the help of government subsidies. Unfortunately, at the cessation of the war, the government put a stop to hemp production. So they outlawed it and they were producing it somewhere else?
That's what I'm here.
Right? Yeah, man. What kind of shit is that?
It's an experiment over here, not on our grounds. Because
Out of sight, out of mind, buddy.
because of reefer madness and shit like that, they're worried about it.
What a bunch of sticklers.
Mm-hmm.
The Controlled Substances Act of 1970. Further hindering the cultivation of hemp, the Controlled Substances Act of 1970 placed hemp in the same category as marijuana. Per Purdue University, the CSA named hemp as a Schedule I controlled substance due to it being a cannabis derivative, categorizing it alongside illicit drugs like heroin and ecstasy.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Controlled chemical substance.
What the fuck? The CSA did not directly outlaw hemp for industrial purposes, but required growers to secure a permit from the DEA.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which feared a lot of people, which slowed down
Right.
farmers wanting to even grow it.
Yeah.
You know? Now I got to go get permission from the FDA, and what does it take to prove to them that this is all just hemp and all shit? They're like, man, fuck this.
Yeah, see, they'll put all these hoops in place because they know
Exactly.
slow people down.
Exactly.
All that shit.
Because I mean, you could still get like hemp purses and hemp even clothing and
Right,
stuff,
yeah.
you know, but very rare.
Yeah, it's not very
It's not very
popular.
popular.
Yeah.
You can get hemp rope. I mean, hemp rope is even one of the strongest
Yeah.
ropes.
I had a hemp rope keychain a long time ago. And I mean, that thing was strong, buddy.
Yeah,
I mean, I could have like hung my whole body weight on that thing.
exactly.
Yeah. It was strong. The outlawing of hemp can be seen in the language of the CSA, which names marijuana as a Schedule I controlled substance, meaning that it has no medical purpose and is highly likely to be abused. The definition of marijuana, according to the CSA, includes all the components of the cannabis sativa plant. The definition is broad, labeling marijuana and its components as a hallucinogen, leading to the outlawing of hemp under this act.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that they're only calling it sativa because there's also an indica variety, you know, species, you know.
Right.
But the other thing is, where does most of the medicinal properties of cannabis come from? CBD. Where is CBD excreted from?
It's the same.
Hemp.
I was going to say it's the same as THC.
No, it's not. The CBD will not get you high. THC will.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but you will feel CBD though.
Yeah, it depends. You can get like a CBD that's got a percentage, whatever the legal percentage in an illegal state, whatever the legal percentage is.
Right.
But some CBD, you don't feel really anything. Yeah.
Yeah, like a long time ago, this coworker I had, she had like CBD in a thing with like a little dropper, and so like she told me to put like 2 drops under my tongue or whatever. And I didn't feel high, but I could feel it in my head. Like I felt like
Lifted.
yeah, kind of like lifted, like a little floaty.
Yeah.
It was pretty mild, but it was strong enough to where I felt it for like a good while. It was like an hour.
I mean, you could take a vitamin.
I was like,
you could take a vitamin and feel better.
Yeah, I mean, I would have passed a breathalyzer. They could have taken my blood. I probably would have passed that and everything too, you know. But I did feel something.
Yeah, I've been to several CBD shops that you know tell you their whole spiel on.
Yeah, but it's not like it's nothing like THC.
Right.
But see, that's the other thing is cannabis can even be good for people that have epilepsy and all kind of shit.
Even just CBD or what?
Yeah, even the CBD. Yeah. Yep. All right. Corporate interests. Outside of prohibitive legislation, corporate interests have had an influence on the outlawing of hemp. In the 1920s, businessmen like W.R. Hearst and William DuPont were threatened by hemp because they had a vested interest in the use of wood to produce paper. W.R. Hearst, who was in the newspaper business, owned forest acreage which was used to produce paper. He was so threatened by hemp, in fact, that he produced contrived stories in his newspapers, telling tales of the dangers of cannabis. William DuPont, who was in the business of creating chemicals that enabled the production of paper from timber, was equally threatened by him. Yeah, so all these people that were hearing about it and stuff were like, "Oh shit!"
Let's make up some bullshit. Let's scare everybody and say that
Right.
this is a very bad thing, only because they're selfish needs for their own business.
Right.
Why didn't y'all start growing hemp and making your fucking paper that way? It would have been cheaper for you. You would have gotten a lot more produced in a short amount of time. I mean, what was stopping them? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean that's how it goes sometimes, man. It can be a dirty game sometimes, competition.
Yeah.
But I mean, really, competition is good for people like us, people that buy shit. Competition is real good.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can buy the same thing for a little cheaper from this guy, but maybe you're willing to spend a couple extra bucks to get the better shit.
Right.
So that's pretty fucked. Making matters worse, Harry Anslinger, who in the 1930s was the first appointee as commissioner of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, upheld W.R. Hearst's exaggerated claims about the deleterious nature of cannabis. Anslinger was responsible for introducing the Marijuana Tax Act to Congress, beginning the legal process that answers the question, why was hemp outlawed? Exactly.
How much more
Because of money.
Because of money. Because of selfishness.
Yeah.
Because of reefer madness.
Yeah.
Because of the tree company, the cotton company, and all clothes would be made of hemp if it was hemp. You know, if it was still legal.
Yeah, they let
now
them make
it's
it.
all cotton.
Right.
You know? You don't get like a shirt, a $5 shirt from Walmart, you know? But it would have been had they not outlawed it.
Right. And see, that $5 shirt would have been a lot better quality if it was hemp as well.
By a long shot.
Yeah.
Moths and shit that eat your clothes in your closet, you know, if everything was hemp in there, it would deter them.
Right, yeah. It's pest resistant.
Hell, you can put on a hemp coat and walk through fire.
Yeah, it's fire resistant too.
No, I think that's the process of hempcrete that makes hempcrete.
Yeah,
fire
right.
retardant. But
Yeah.
regardless, they could probably use it like for electricians if they're working stuff hot. You know, you got to have a hot work suit. And so, in the event of an arc flash or something, it can protect you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're wearing that hemp hot suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even firefighters.
Yeah, firefighters, yeah.
All their clothing and shit that they wear, if it was made of hemp, even their plastic helmets and shit, if it was hemp made.
It would be hempcrete, probably.
Well, it wouldn't be hempcrete, I wouldn't think, but hemp plastic.
Or even that,
you know,
yeah.
you got the hemp make, you know.
I'd imagine hempcrete being a lot lighter than concrete, but I could be wrong.
I think it is, you know, and
I
I also think because like you got to remember back in the old days with the like Adobe homes and shit, right? So Adobe was like mud. These people would dig until they find clay, right? Clay in the dirt, and then they would mix that with straw, right? With hay. And so they would mix that together and form bricks, and then they would set that out in the sun to dry and bake. And then it would be a very fucking solid brick, dude. And they would build homes, and like the water wouldn't fucking affect them. And like you had a badass fucking strong ass house. And so when you did that with cannabis, however they did that, you know, hemp, they made hempcrete basically out of it.
Right.
That was like how they, I imagine, first come up with that idea. They was using hemp as their straw or whatever.
Right. Oh, I see what you're saying. How they came up with hempcrete.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that. Because I mean, who looks at a plant? It's like, make some concrete out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, would
Plastic.
be, or even that. Yeah,
clothes.
or even that. Current legislation. After years of being outlawed, there is hope for hemp. Based on recent legislation, in August 2019, the DEA publicly acknowledged that hemp is not a controlled substance, and as such, it is legal to produce without DEA approval. The DEA is the acknowledgement, and this acknowledgement explained that hemp includes both hemp plants and cannabidiol, which contain no more than 3% THC. This notice from the DEA followed the December 2018 signing of the 2018 Farm Bill, which formally decriminalized hemp.
See, and it's
So
weird,
it's
'cause
kind of coming, dude.
that's about what the time frame was where CBD was becoming a big thing and all this.
Yeah.
And now these people can grow their hemp, it's got less than so much percent THC, whatever you don't have to have for the DEA to come bust your ass.
Right,
And you can start business.
right. Yeah, see, that was recent, man. 2018, not that long ago.
Right. We're talking 6 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Not that long ago, man. Prior to the 2018 law, the 2014 Farm Bill permitted higher learning institutions and state departments of agriculture to produce hemp as allowable by state law. There were still, however, tight restrictions on hemp, as the DEA continued to recognize it as a Schedule I controlled substance and oversaw some facts of hemp cultivation. It was not until the 2018 Farm Bill that the United States truly saw the end of hemp being outlawed, as this law stipulates that products created by hemp can be transported between state lines. It also allows for restriction-free sales and possession of legally produced hemp products. Despite this fact, it is important to keep in mind that the state departments of agriculture and the USDA will still regulate hemp production. Also, USDA is involved in that. I thought they were just food. Guess not. Yeah.
But they're saying that you can take it across state lines, but
Yeah, and you can possess it.
but they're going to regulate it.
Yeah. So it's the same thing like what we were talking about, how cannabis is legal in some states. There's still rules.
Mm-hmm.
You're not breaking the law as long as you're following the rules, right?
Right.
Yes. So I guess you can only grow a certain amount, you can only produce a certain amount. I guess only buy a certain amount. And you can probably only have a certain amount going across state lines. It's shit like that.
Right.
Which is still kind of crazy, really. You're talking about 3% THC or less?
Yeah.
Fuck you worried about?
Low. Yeah, you're not getting high. And
Yeah.
that's only if you're like have your product to smoke. You know what I mean? If you're making clothing out of it or whatever,
Right.
it's not like something that you're not gonna like take your purse and go smoke it. Your backpack made a tent and go like fucking cut it up and start smoking it. You know what I mean?
Just throw it in the fire pit and just stand there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good fun doing that.
Is that?
Yeah, dude.
Damn, dude, I might hit beer number 3.
Holy shit. You mean Tiger Blood number 3, dude?
Tiger Blood.
Hell yeah, hit that shit up, dude. Yeah, I got a second one too. There's one left for you, yeah.
There's another one.
Oh, is there? Yeah, you can have some shit.
Nah, there's no third. You got a 6-pack.
Future directions. Moving forward, we can expect universities to continue to conduct market research to determine the profitability of hemp. We can also look forward to the creation of hemp products such as textiles, carpeting, paper, fabric, yarn, insulation, and construction materials. Cosmetics and soaps produced by hemp seed oil
Yeah.
may also make their way to more and more store shelves.
Yeah. I've seen that. Even Old Spice.
Yeah, I think I have too.
I've gotten some Old Spice deodorant that's got hemp seed oil in it.
Yeah, I've had like some hemp lotion and shit.
Even shampoos and
Yeah,
body wash and shit like that.
Yeah. With the ending of the outlawing of hemp, we may also see CBD growing in popularity. This compound, which is also low in THC, has received attention for its therapeutic effects and may be useful for treating conditions like epilepsy and PTSD.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel like I'm hearing a lot of good shit about it, dude.
That. It's just the feds need to wake up. Problem is, the feds are making so much money on all these other companies
Right.
that they don't want to give in to, that you can get all this way cheaper and produce it way cheaper, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, to me, the craziest part is like not only cheaper but better.
Right.
Like you're talking about a material you're not going to beat.
Well, see, so now, I mean, it might be so cheaper to grow, faster to grow, but still maybe the end product would be maybe a little more expensive. You know what I'm saying? If you had a t-shirt made of cotton and a t-shirt made of hemp, which one you think would cost more? I don't know. If the majority of the farmers were only growing hemp and all of it was that, I would say that it'd be less expensive.
Right. Yeah, because like if you have one farmer with it, then he gets to charge what he wants.
Right.
He's the only dude that's got it. So if you want that, you pay what he charges.
Right.
But if everybody's got cotton, then you kind of have to like, well, I might want to lower my price because this dude over here got the same shit for cheaper. Hemp was a popular crop in the 1930s, grown on family farms, directly competed with cotton in new industries. Untruths circulated through media and government publications, leading to prohibition. The Farm Bill of 2018 restored its legal status.
So that's weird. So it went from 30,
That's a long
36 to 2018.
That's a long damn time.
70, 80, 90 years, almost 100 years.
Yeah. That's great. Hemp is non-intoxicating, with practical uses and natural benefits for health and wellness. Hemp is good for your health. Green Life Organics.
Green Life Organic.
Green Life Organic, boy.
I like it.
There it is. That's your hemp story, dude.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
it's pretty wild. See, and like in '96, Cali was the first state. California was the first state to medically legalize marijuana.
I think so, yeah. I think you're right about that.
And I also think it's bizarre because, like, states that aren't legal Well, you can go to smoke shops and buy THCA, THCN, Delta 8, Delta 9, Delta whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
There's
right.
all these different fucking
What
ways.
is? Yeah, it's
Like, what does that mean?
yeah. What the fuck is that shit?
And why is
Delta
it?
what?
Yeah. And so what has changed? Oh, I took one compound out of the THC, or
Yeah,
how does that fuck?
Yeah, so they take a cannabis plant and they spray it off with a power pressure washer real quick, and then they fucking let that dry,
Well,
and then they sell that to
they could
fucking
have
head
done,
shop.
little genetic engineering.
Oh, they could have done a little
You know?
genetic engineering there.
And then,
They could have done that shit.
but still, I think that even if you're smoking that shit, if you go to take a drug test or something, it's still going to show up on a drug test.
Yeah, see, that's a good question. That is a good question.
Like, how is it
Would you fail a
okay to
drug
buy
test?
this?
Would you fail a drug test, smoking legal fake
Hell, even
bud?
drinking. I've seen fucking.
Yeah, you can. You can drink that shit.
Yeah.
I'll drink it right now.
THCA beer or whatever.
Hit beer, damn it.
Yeah. I mean, bizarre.
Yeah, man.
And so, like, why? Why continue this prohibition? Just the feds, you know?
Yeah, they're worried about something, dude.
They're worried about the money,
There's something
the
worried.
oil, all that shit, because it'll produce oil and everything.
Yeah.
You can make gasoline, bro, with hemp. Ethanol, methanol, methane gas. And even like say when it was the hempcrete and all that shit, it's also absorbing the CO2 and bullshit that's destroying the ozone. So like, it's like, I don't understand what
It's fucking gold, buddy.
Yeah,
That's
it's
just
like
fucking
the
gold.
best.
I didn't even know it did that either.
Yeah.
Absorbing CO2 and shit.
Yes, sir. And strengthens it. For the hempcrete, it was saying that it would take like 50 years before it's at its solidest form. So you build it, and then over time it gets stronger and stronger and stronger for 50 years, and then after 50 years, shit,
Fuck.
it's
That's fucking interesting shit, dude.
yeah, plastics,
Yeah,
even cosmetic and beauty items, dude. They could be using.
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
Making makeup and shit like that, lotions.
That's wild, man. I had no clue that shit. I mean, you do everything with that shit.
Yes, sir.
That's crazy, man.
Even the seeds are good, the herbs are good, the fibers are good, so they're using all the different parts of the plant.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
whatever the fuck.
For different things.
Hmm.
And it's all healthy and good and like nothing negative about it.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of positives, man.
There's been several people that have died from alcohol, heroin, drugs, all these different drugs, even like normal shit, concrete and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? There's never been a recorded death from too much marijuana.
I don't think there has.
Not one.
I don't think there has, man. I feel like maybe there's somebody that got super high and had a heart attack.
Well, so no.
I feel like that's happened to somebody.
But if it happened in like 2019, 2020, they just said, "Oh, it was COVID." You know, they just put the blame on everything else. Anything else that they could possibly put the blame on.
Yeah.
You know?
You know how it goes, dude. Yeah.
Wow.
It's wild shit, man. Well, I give a thumbs up to old Hemp. I'll tell you that.
And a thumbs up to him as
And I give a
well.
thumbs up to this guy right here.
And a thumbs up to Sucker Punch.
I'm telling you. It's good shit. Oh, there it is. High time, baby.
Thumbs up with it.
Thumbs up.
All right, y'all.
Man.
Thanks for tuning in. I think that's going to conclude this episode. Come back next week. Don't forget, leave a like, subscribe.
Yeah.
We'll be here at 5:30 next
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Air Wednesday.
Peace.
That win.